Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Your Soul Wisdom. Today's guest is none other than Rachel's favorite, Dr. Darren Weissman, a visionary in the field of energetic medicine, consciousness, and emotional healing. Darren's a developer of the Lifeline Technique, a transformative process that helps people harmonize the subconscious mind and awaken the body's natural ability to heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually. A best-selling author of books like The Power of Infinite Love and Gratitude, Awakening to the Secret Code of the Mind, and The Heart of the Matter, Darren's work is rooted in the understanding that every symptom is a portal to deeper healing and awakening. As a global teacher and speaker, Darren has trained over 700 certified LifeLine practitioners in 24 countries, all united by a vision of creating world peace through inner peace. With a deep reverence for the wisdom of the body and the power of infinite love and gratitude, Darren's passion is to help people remember who they truly are and reclaim their lives with purpose and presence. Darren, welcome to our show.
What an honor. I'm so grateful to be here with you all. Thank you.
Lovely.
I mean, I feel like I have known about infinite love and gratitude because every time Rachel signs off an email, every time we talk about something good, every time there's a challenge, everything is followed by infinite love and gratitude. And we just have been like immersed in infinite love and gratitude.
How has that impacted you?
It's very contagious. Even I'm saying it to people in traffic when I cut them off. Instead of cutting them off, I have infinite love and gratitude. Asshole. But still, it's very contagious.
That's real though. I had somebody cut me off and they're like, ah, and I'm like, in love and gratitude.
That's it.
and the guy's like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting too is we had a dowsing rod episode where we were asking all these different spiritual questions. And I think the original question was, is love the highest frequency? I think. And the answer was no. And then Rachel said, is it, what did you say? Was it infinite love and gratitude?
Or was it gratitude or something like that? But in the end, Darren, you were completely validated that indeed infinite love and gratitude has the highest healing frequency through Kylie and her rods.
Yeah. The wild part is that my, the whole essence of connecting with infinite love and gratitude was through my cousin, who is the first deaf chiropractor to graduate from the Palmer College of Chiropractic. So we're working with, client after client. End of the day, we're just like, what a day. And he turns to me and he goes like this. He goes, and I don't speak sign language. I'm like, Rob, what is that? He goes, I love you. I'm like, huh. And I felt something. I'm like, whoa, like it's contagious. I felt something. I'm like, this is really an amazing vibe. There's a frequency here. There's an energy. And one of my things that I just love so much is kinesiology, muscle reflex testing, using the nervous system as a feedback. And I found some reflexes on Rob that were weak. And I went, I love you. And the nervous system, the reflex instantly changed. And I was like, and I had a moment where I was freaking out because I like sticking needles in people. I like adjusting the spine. I'm into giving somebody a homeopathic remedy or a supplement or an amino acid or whatever it might be. I just went, I love you. And the nervous system, which controls what?
Everything.
Everything just got strong. So I had a freak out moment where the next day I came in and everyone that I'm working with, I'm going, I love you. I love you. And they're like, what are you doing? Like, this is getting a little bit weird. And then I realized my love's great. My love is beautiful. It's sweet. It's wonderful. Yet it's not about my love. It's not about Darren. That there's an energy. There's a field that connects everything. Like you, the five of you, like what a vibe, this little container right here. But everyone listening, there's a field of energy that connects everything and everyone all the time. And that love is infinite. That field of energy, when it connects, helps us to discover meaning and purpose in the pain that we face. And then I realized it's not about my love. It's about infinite love and gratitude. And, there's so many other parts to it, but it was just like, it started with just something that I felt inside. Like, I think Kylie said, it was like, it's contagious. It's like, I just felt something and couldn't deny it. And then it ended up becoming so much more than I could have ever imagined, really.
That's so crazy. So, okay. I need to understand it all. Okay. Because I need all the information.
Okay.
You created.
Both of you are 11-2s, by the way. Darren also has 11-2 physical karma.
Okay.
Sorry about the numbers talk, Darren.
Talk about creating a structure, though.
Right.
Oh, just
wow.
Darren has 6 9s as well, ladies, just by the way.
Okay.
Just so that you know what you're dealing with. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome.
Okay. You created the Lifeline Technique.
No.
Okay. So walk me through this whole thing.
It existed before I discovered it.
He remembered, Amanda.
Darren.
In 1491, the earth was flat. Well, some people still think the earth is flat, but in 1491, the earth was flat. And now in 1492, it isn't. At one point, the World Wide Web didn't exist. And, and then it did. So it's like, I didn't discover it. It was there. I awoke to it. I had a moment. I'm a passionate learner. I'm a passionate learner. So I'm really passionate about anything that can activate the mind, the brain, a person to move through something and become the next greatest version of themselves. Like, I struggled as a kid, and so I wanted a different way for children when I grew up, but I didn't know about chiropractic. I didn't know about acupuncture. I didn't know about homeopathy. My grandfather was a pharmacist. So we took pills. That's what we did. And one thing led to the other, and I ended up discovering chiropractic, which just opened up a realm that I just kept on saying yes. But as I said yes, I'm like, why do I have to keep on adjusting the atlas? How come this ileocecal valve acupuncture pattern, this bladder pathway, isn't holding? Why does this person need to stay on this medication for the rest of their life? What is this label that is causing people to stay stuck and struggling and suffering, actually? And as I backed up, I kept on backing up to this why question. I ended up getting the common denominator of it all is our mind, and that most of the mind is not visible. Most of the mind is invisible. Our conscious reality, like right now, we can see each other and hear each other, we can feel each other, yet that's the tip of the iceberg. It's been said, but I don't buy it, actually. It's been said that it's 2 to 10% of our mind is consciousness. I think it's like 0.05% is conscious. I think we are so unconscious in our realm. Our world, as human beings, we're so fucked up. And I say that in the most honoring way, because I'm raising both hands. I'm a human being too, right? We're all moving through it, but we've been programmed. The movie The Matrix was a documentary. And so we end up realizing that the essence of our mind, in what is programmed within it, the beliefs, the memories, the traumas, the losses, the patterns, and the experiences that date back who knows how long, where they even come from, influence us in every way. So as a result of that, I ended up seeing how all these things that I was so passionate about became pieces to a puzzle, that the final puzzle piece for me was, what role does the subconscious mind play in every symptom in the body? What role does the subconscious mind play in the relationship patterns, behaviors in our life? What role does the subconscious mind play in awakening us to the truth of who we are, that we're divine, that we're pure love, that we're infinite in our mind, that our bodies are intelligently designed to heal, that we're all one, that the subconscious mind is actually not against us. It's not a big bad wolf, that it's something that is awaiting us. So I ended up on June 17, 2002,
Love that.
having a vision.
The day I moved to Adelaide.
And it hit me. It went, my crown chakra went, and I went to a realm. And I saw things that looked familiar, and I saw things that I'd never seen before. And I yelled prophetic words, "Babe, get me a pen and paper." And Sarit, my girlfriend at the time, got me a pen and paper, and I scribbled like a madman for about 45 minutes. And I wrote out this flow chart. And that was the beginning, 23 plus years ago, June 17th, that I began passionately serving in a different way.
That's wild.
It is wild. It brings me to my knees every day. Like, check it out. Check it out. So last night, I'm dating this incredible woman. God, I love her. And as in relationships are relationships, right? But as we're aware of, we care about each other so much, but we're aware of the triggers that are going on.
Yeah.
And I love that she said, you know what? Why don't we do a lifeline? And I'm like, I love that. I'm glad that I didn't say it. You know, I'm like, good, I would love to do that. So we did a couple session. We did this amazing lifeline session. It took about 90 minutes. It was amazing. But I tell you something, all these things that would cause a person to be so vulnerable, close down, lie, self-defeat, self-destruct, self-hate, all of a sudden we process this deep pattern that ended up being a past life, 18, 20. I was 20 years of age. She was 24. We were in a relationship. It was 2 lifetimes ago. So the lifetime in between, we were not together, but 2 lifetimes ago, we had this incredible experience. And I knew her the moment I met her. But the thing about it was, when a person gets triggered, I'm raising my hand again, we're reactive. Everyone's healing from something. Everybody's body is speaking to them. This is just a technology that allows us, I use, and I've trained a lot of people into using to create real deep, meaningful change where pain becomes purposeful.
I have so many questions.
I kind of.
Go, Kylie. So much to say.
Well, I just would imagine. I'm loving that I'm in this women energy with you all. I'm loving it because I'm sure that you are, unless you're all married or you're dating or you're single, and the aspect of intimacy. See, the aspects of the Lifeline technique help us to understand relationship with ourselves, with others, on a whole other level. Help us have a relationship with the cells of our body, our organs, our ability to truly heal, like really heal, regenerate in ways that I was never taught in school. I was never taught what was possible. We don't know what we don't know until we know it. And so it's a process. So infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
So
just looking at my list.
Yeah, I'm going to start writing my stuff down.
Yeah, sorry. I'm first, okay? Infinite love and gratitude.
Go, Kylie.
So if a person that you encounter is not really ready to take on the healing, does this kind of activate people to be more open to approaching past trauma, whatever it may be?
Great question. You know, the thing about it is, one, I'll say what it isn't. It's not therapy. Somebody doesn't have to talk about anything. They don't really have to buy it. They just actually have to follow the process. And when we're doing a lifeline, it's a really different paradigm. It's not about healing the body. It's not about fixing anyone. No one's broken. The body's intelligently designed to heal. What is triggering the body to be in a maladaptive stress reaction versus present and therefore able to adapt and able to be in its normal, in its optimal order, and therefore maintain homeostasis. When we get triggered, when memories get activated that are not processed yet, those memories that live in what's called our limbic brain, those memories, well, I want to back up, that live in our limbic brain, and the limbic brain is the seat of the autonomic nervous system. So when we go into freeze, when we go into fright, when we go into flight, when we go into fight, that is because the limbic brain got triggered and something activated us not to feel safe. So when there's memories that get activated on a subconscious level that are not yet processed, I'm 4 and my parents are fighting. I'm 8 and I'm being bullied by someone at school. Here I am in utero and my mom's going through overwhelm and depression. Whatever it might be, if there's a memory that is not processed, that memory stays within the subconscious parts of our mind and influences the subconscious parts of our brain. And then what ends up happening is our brain produces chemicals of these emotions associated with a 4-year-old. associated with the in utero part. And now these chemicals become a cascade that bind to our cells. And now our cells are feeling and functioning and forming new cells of parents fighting, being bullied, mom feeling depressed, as if I was still in my mother's utero. But I'm not. I'm 57. But the brain and the body don't know the difference between memory or reality or imagination. And so imagination is an aspect of the Lifeline technique to help us enter a new realm of consciousness and train these memories and train these patterns and train these programs with infinite love and gratitude. Becomes a universal healing frequency where we can actually connect to an exact moment in time that's frozen and thaw it and bring it back to life and evolve it, go from this fear-based revolution to a love-based evolution. We literally can grow. It's wild. It's a wild thing to talk about it right now because we want to make this really relevant because it's a new paradigm. As a little boy, I thought, wouldn't it be neat to have an original idea? And I'm like, and then all of a sudden, I did. I had an original idea. It's like, sure, Chinese medicine is not an original idea, but the combination of how all these 16 systems come together into 16 steps and that they are reproducible, that I can train people. Rachel got certified in the Lifeline. She's learned the Lifeline technique. She knows it inside and out. It's amazing. So people can learn this for themselves. They can learn it to help other people. We can do it in group sessions. Its application is far and wide, but the key is, and going back to Kylie, like, what if somebody's not open? Well, that's a portal in of itself. But if somebody's not open, but they want help, we're fine. If somebody's not open, if somebody wants help, if they don't want help, like, leave me alone, then no, I'm not going to help them. I can't help somebody who's like, but if somebody's like, I'm feeling so messed up, I'm feeling so scared, I got such panic, I got such phobias, I've got this Crohn's disease, I have this diabetic pattern, whatever it might be, and they're like, and I've done everything, and I'd rather have people not do everything. I'd rather have them recognize that life is about having dream teams and having the best of all the worlds. Like you, the five of you are a dream team. You're the perfect example of like, truly, like, when someone is diagnosed with a disease, like there's a place to have a medical doctor. Please, that's great. There's a place for medication. There's a place for therapy. There's a place for all these things, right? Yet, what role does the subconscious mind play? And the Lifeline technique and this flow chart and infinite love and gratitude become a real step-by-step process that fuse both science and spirit to allow for transformation that is quantum. It's quantum. Yeah.
So can I answer the question? I know this question. Oh, okay. Go on, Rachel.
Listen, I do feel like
because mine might take us on a
yeah.
Look, also, weirdly, all the things I've written down are things that will time with what Darren has said. And you know what? I have been sitting here getting really and now I feel really teary because honestly, Darren, when I think about when I met you in 2009 and what you opened up in me and the possibilities, just wild. And that is when it all started. So thank you. I want to tell you that. And I've said this to Darren before, I used to, and I love South Africans, so when I'm saying this, there's no shade, but I was a personal chef for South Africans, and one of the habits I picked up from them is when they hear something that's not good, they actually say shame, as in, oh, shame, babe, this kind of thing. And I'm not joking, that's what I used to say. Before I used to say infinite love and gratitude, and now I think of like how hysterical that language is. Darren, one of the things that you started, and I say this to anyone who's interested in Lifeline, is I went there definitely to help myself, but it was doing it with you that made me realise that I could help other people. And it seems really weird to think back on that now because I can see that that's been such a focus of my life since 2009 that I forgot that it really wasn't before that. I was absolutely not into anything to do with spirit. My joke is that the only time I would have used the word spirit is in reference to hard liquor. And I want you to know that anyone watching that I I wouldn't have even listened to any of the stuff that Darren was saying about that kind of thing or channeling, whatever. I would have made up some other story about it. But there was so much value in the science of infinite love and gratitude. It just doesn't even matter if you're not into it. If you're not into the etheric side, the value that you will get from the experience is wild. I'm so grateful that I actually trained to be a CLP, because although it was an enormous amount of work for a food wholesaler to learn from scratch.
With your mom. With your mama.
With my mom, yeah. But anyway, I was about to say, but she's smart. But anyway, whatever. I'm just like, that's how I know all the meridians, all the chakras, all the body systems. Like, it was a lot of learning. But what that set me up for any of my future learning was, like, I actually came in with a lot of experience. So it was definitely worth it like that. You know, when I'm listening to you, I realize that there's just nothing that you say, for me personally, that is outside my Venn diagram. Like, what you say and me are like two perfect circles. And I just never realized that kind of congruence. So thank you. Anyway, that's the end of my TED Talk. I've finished my notes. Thank you.
You know, Rachel, and it's really cool because anyone who takes a Lifeline, especially before I brought the program online, I had traveled to Australia for a good 10 years straight and trained people in Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia. And Rachel and I became good friends. We loved Bikram yoga, so we'd go to yoga together, and it was just so much fun. And I remember one night we're hanging, and we had dinner, and you said to me, you said, Darren, you know, the world needs to know this, and it's so much. Like, can you make it? Is there a way to make it simpler? Do you remember that conversation? And I
don't, but I can totally understand, right?
Because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I remember saying, like, no, can't make it simpler. The reality of the Lifeline technique is it is simple. Here's the Lifeline technique. Infinite love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude. That's it. It's a transmission of vibration, energy, and frequency. That's what it is. Yet, when we look at life, North Pole, South Pole, the seasons, the aspects of the elements, water and the trees and the sun and the stars and the cycles of the moon and the ecosystem, we think about life and how intricate life is. Life, the nature of life is how intricate Lifeline can be. If somebody has a hangnail, or someone's in stage 4 cancer, or someone's gone through a Rwandan genocide, and these are all things that I've worked with people. People have experienced bushfires where they're just horrific. It can meet you wherever it's at because there's so many nuances to life. The essence of it, there's a process here, and it's a step-by-step process, and it's reproducible. And it's definitely intricate, and maybe it's not for everybody, because somebody might not want to invest so much time and energy doing something like that. They'd rather just experience the sessions. But at the same time, knowledge is so important. And when we begin to have real knowledge and understanding about ourselves, it enables us to be intentional on a whole other level, where our intention then can be used to truly transform our lives. I mean, I teared up too, Rachel, as you're saying, like, because this experience of sharing Lifeline it's my baby, and yet at the same time, it's not my baby. It's come from another place, and it just came through me. It's like, I'm so grateful it impacted you in such a way, and now I'm meeting these incredible 4 other women and all these people that are listening. What a blessing. What a blessing. And thanks for just going for it, because you weren't always open to spirit, and somehow
not remotely open. Open. Just by the way,
somehow you kept on taking a step forward. So,
well, look, this is us saying there was definitely value in the experience, spirit or no spirit. I could see my life changing, and I could see how I was relating to things changing. And really, when I think about it, without any exaggeration, I am doing infinite love and gratitude. And I've just realized this, honestly, all day, every day. All day, every day. It's all I'm ever doing. It's like one of my structures of life. Do you know what I mean? And it is, you know, I'm not like you, Darren. I get triggered to fuck, but at the same time, I'm not getting triggered and not aware of it. I know exactly what's going on at the time. Well, when I say at the time, maybe a second later, I understand what's going on. But even the gift of that, you know, is enough to study a lot. And I mean a lot. I can remember I gave myself glandular fever. I was like so fucking peeking out about it. But anyway, again, another beautiful symptom, another beautiful portal, huh, Darren?
Yeah. Big time.
For some reason, it just came up for me to ask you to talk about how everything is a portal. Like literally everything. Not your kind of portal, Amanda. A portal into the subconscious mind.
Well, one of the things about the Lifeline technology, science, philosophy, story, is that it's a different paradigm. We live in a world that's really, 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 really smart. There's really a lot of smart people these days, and things are so granular, right? We understand so much about so many different things, and so we're good at fixing things. We're good at fighting. We're good at figuring out things, and yet the essence of the Lifeline is it goes, what's triggering you? Who's triggering you? Where do you go when you get triggered? What do you think about? What does it take? Tick, 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 tick. Boom! Now you're reactive. Now you're angry. Now you're overwhelmed. Now you're anxious. The essence of pain, from a thought that's painful to a feeling to a behavior to a dynamic of a relationship. I shared, like, you know, this woman I love. I'm going to pray I spend the rest of my life with this person. I'm so grateful. Yet, like, what an intense thing to be in love, and yet we get triggered, and that happens to everybody. The nature of pain is the portal. So if you can fix something, fix it. Right? If you actually could, like, do something, like, yo, drink your water. You're dehydrated. Do it. Change your diet. Get better rest. Express what you need to express. If you could, like, do something to change something, do it. But oftentimes people do things and the situation is still going on. And so the nature of it is that a portal is a view. It's a starting point of pain. That when we go into the portal in the Lifeline technology, the 16 steps, allow people to transform the pain into something that's valuable. We end up saying thank you to what you would think you'd only say fuck you to for the rest of your life. You end up going like, wow, I never would have thought I would say, thank God for cancer. Thank God that this happened. I would never thought I would say it. And it's quite blasphemous, to tell you the truth, when someone's in the throes of it.
Right.
Yet, but once in it, once held in the sacred space of the portal and the Lifeline technique, every practitioner holds space like no one's business. Like the process of learning it, you really learn to see, like, this isn't happening to me. It's so cliche here. This isn't happening to me. It's happening for me. That's real. That's real. It's not a victimizing universe. It's a loving universe. It wants us to succeed, even though there's insanity in our world, and there's insanities in our families, and there's insanities in our community. There's so much pain that we're in. This is a portal. So whether it be, I just have, like, oh, I got tennis elbow, or like, oh, I got plantar fasciitis. Oh, I'm gassy. Whatever it might be. Like, it could be anything. Or I feel like a bit frustrated, or I feel pure hate. From the littlest thing to the biggest thing that's painful, that is a portal. And if we can choose, that's got to be a choice, and we could agree to choose to look at the pain in our bodies and our relationships in our lives as a portal, as a feedback, not a fight, not a failure, not a mess up. If we can do that, then we can use this technology to start a process of transformation. And it's not a cookie cutter approach. So I had an epic transformation last night, epic. And I've worked with people that have come in with, true like diagnosable disease, and after one session have a transformation. Yet it's not about that. And that's actually part of the challenge, I think. There's a real evolutionary process of understanding that the mind, like the body, must first detoxify. You detoxify your liver, you detoxify your lymph, you detoxify your kidneys, detoxify your blood, your heavy metals. But what about your mind? How do you do that? Lifeline detoxifies the mind. Once the mind's detoxified, and that waterfall of negativity now is being met with an open heart, there's a natural tendency for positivity to naturally emerge. Like all of a sudden it wasn't visible, and then it becomes visible. It wasn't physical, and then it becomes physical. And then synchronicities start to happen, and the intuitions start to happen. And so we go from a mindset of toxicity, I call it toxic mind syndrome, like PMS, TMS. We've got toxic mind syndrome that once we detoxify the mind, then the mind will start to regenerate. It actually will regenerate. And once the mind regenerates, then you enter a place that ultimately I'd encourage people to stay in for the rest of their lives, thriving. And then it's a practice. It's a practice to thrive. You've got to wake up in the morning and have a practice. You got to go to bed at night and have a practice. When you eat food, there's a practice. When you're connecting with another, there's a practice. There's a habitual, organizational, intuitional, decision-making process that happens with a person who's thriving versus a person who's surviving. And we all are going through it. Both hands are raised. Everybody's poop stinks. It's just part of it. Yet it's the portal. And when we agree to go, okay, I'm going to look at this as a portal right now. And once again, if you can fix something, please fix it. If you can do something, if you can say sorry, if you can forgive, if you can accept something, if you can let go of something, do it. Do it. And if you're finding yourself, which we do, where that's just really, 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 really hard to do, then the lifeline will be a lifeline. And it will bring you into a place that where you're at right now, you might not have ever imagined possible. Like I'm thinking about a person that I've known for a long time, also became certified. This person came in on so many medications and so dissociated, like true dissociation, like used to be called multiple personality disorder, like true dissociation and chronic pain and skin lesions and all kinds of things. And this person is just a true angel. And they were an angel before, but their mind was a tormentor. And so when the mind's a tormentor, then the mind's a tormentor. She turned her mind into a tool. And so now, I'll say what doesn't. She doesn't take medications, or she's really clear. It doesn't mean she doesn't get emotional and have the situations. We all do. Yet transformation occurs when we go into the portal. And where do we start? Wherever we are. It's the starting place of it.
All right, girls, I'm jumping in. No.
Lauren's in.
I was jumping in. I've forgotten now.
Okay, so Darren, before today, I jumped onto Gaia and I searched you because I wanted to reconnect with your energy, aside from the infinite love and gratitude I experience on the daily. But I had previously watched Heal, and I'd previously watched Emotion, and then I watched your interview on Gaia. Yesterday there was another one. And what I really loved was you spoke about, I believe it's called the truth question, where you ask that person, would you choose this?
Wow.
Because what I find, like so often in the spiritual world and the world of healing, and I believe it's well-intentioned, but often people can say, well, why do you think you're manifesting that? Or whatever it may be.
That question, bananas. That drives me bananas.
Me too.
Me too.
We love you so much.
It's one of my things that really, really gets me. And so I just so loved that conversation where you were saying no one actually would consciously want to choose it. And so what I feel is that removes all of the blaming and all of the shaming. So that person can actually be open to experience the transformation, because people close down immediately when they're basically told it's their fault, they're sick, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, the essence of it is when we are aware, and just take a moment right now and be aware. Just be aware. Be aware of the tone of my voice, be aware of your posture, be aware of the chair that you're in. Breathe in through your nose, roll your tongue around, just feel yourself. When you're in your conscious mind, when you're aware, you have a choice. Only our conscious mind can choose. The subconscious mind does not choose. The subconscious mind is called the reactive mind. The conscious mind is the active mind. The subconscious mind is the reactive mind. So action, when we take action, this is an original moment right now. Right here, this is an original moment, right? When we're in reaction, we're in the subconscious, it's not original. It's the same action again and again and again. It's Groundhog Day. It's a hamster wheel from hell. It's a monkey mind.
My favorite word.
Huh?
My favorite word, sorry.
Which one?
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, exactly. And the movie was insane. It was amazing.
We're in that moment all the time.
Right. Right. So, but the essence is when we're aware of something and we wouldn't choose it, but it's still going on.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. That's the reactive mind. We made contact with the subconscious. And once we make contact with the subconscious mind, once we make contact with it, it's so important, Lauren, where we go, hey, we just observed that you have this autoimmune disease and that your hip is really just in so much pain and that your mom drives you crazy and you're feeling overwhelmed with money. And if you could choose to create your life, and this is the truth question, if you could design your best life, if you could blow out birthday candles and make a wish for the upcoming year, would you ever choose to create with an autoimmune disease? Would you ever choose to create it where you're anxious, panicky, having drama, trauma, family conflict with mom? Would you ever choose to create it where you've got phobias or anything? Would anyone ever choose it? And what's the answer?
Well, no.
No.
Hell no. Hell no. It's important to get a little bit feisty with it. To be like, hell no, I would never choose it.
Right.
Because anger actually is a positive emotion to create change. Anger can actually create change. So there's a great use to it. It doesn't have to be out of control anger. It's just like, no, I would never choose this. Damn it. This really sucks.
So can I jump in?
Yeah.
I've got to jump in. Okay. So when we talk about, like, I'm going to come in from, say, like a spiritual level. So when we talk about many past lives and things like that, and we're coming into this life and we're planning, or that's what we're told, you're planning, and you designed this life, and you put into place all of the things that are happening into you so that you can learn and grow and things like that, right? I love that kind of slight like shake of the head, because we may be on the same wavelength, right? The question that I have always come up with is, why would we, and I suppose I do use the word conscious, why would we consciously choose? For me, my attitude is, I don't care what anybody else says in the terms of, well, we're learning, and like people like to add in, well, because we did it to somebody else in another life and stuff like that. I think to myself, why would we consciously choose to experience all of these things that sometimes some of us, or a lot of us, most of us, never really make it out of for hundreds of lives? Because in each moment, and I've always said this, in each moment, each second, each hour, each minute that we're living, we are creating what they call karma. We are creating all of that stuff. And so my question is that well, what is my question? My question is,
why would somebody consciously choose?
Yeah, that's my question. And also, I think going right back to when you spoke about what happened the night before, you know, with your partner, and you went back to a past life and you could heal that, is the fact that, I guess, meshed in with all of that is the fact that coming in with no memory, we come in with so many things that we're packed with that we have actually no idea of. And for the most of us, we cannot access it. We cannot access it because of the rules of coming in, because of the whatever that happens. So we live in this sort of maya of all of this stuff that is interacting with the world. And for the most part, I think that all of us isn't interacting with this world. Like in my work, say Light Body, we work with the Nephilim, where the Nephilim is the container that holds all of sort of like your negative experiences and subjective headings that will run and stuff like that. So what we do is that we break the original vow and we remove the Nephilim from the body. Because what you find out is that in that container being there, you have actively gone to sleep and given over sovereignty, so that it's almost as if this other being or this other, it's supposed to be like a reptilian soul, is running things, and it's not you. And so wherein that means that there's a wakening up process. I don't know, there's just so much stuff going through my head as you've been speaking. So I'm just, it's just all out there. So do you know what I mean? But what I wanted to ask is that, does this work speak to tuning the frequency of the fields, of the dimensions, of our existence here? Is that what this work does? That when you come from that place of infinite love and gratitude, there isn't anything else that needs to be done. It's almost as if it's the ultimate frequency that rearranges everything, all the geometry within us, that all the stuff that we may have been conditioned for lifetimes and spiritually conditioned and tinkered with and DNA tinkered with and all that kind of stuff. I know this is like, I know it's a blurge, but I've got to get it out. You can take what you want from it. So is this what this work does, that it speaks to that frequency and quite simply rearranges it, like it speaks to the blueprint of the soul? Is that what it's doing?
Well, I like that you ended with that. I also like that you said that we come into this realm with rules, and that we come in here and we've been programmed to forget. And the essence of this, which makes it so difficult and humbling, is we're combining words like consciously choose. There's no conscious choice before we're born. We're conscious once we incarnate, and we're not even conscious until the first 7 years of our life. And then, you know, even at 57, how conscious are we? Like I said early on, maybe we're 0.005% conscious in our world. So, you know, when we're talking about, I love that you're bringing up the realm of soul. And the essence of, as humans, the existential crises of suffering that we're going through. And here's a baby that's born deformed with autism, that dies at birth. Here's a person that is raped and traumatized. Here's someone who is killed, and like, oh, I chose this. Like, that I find to be a bullshit statement. It's tough. And even though it's probably true, however, if the mom just lost her baby, you wouldn't say, oh, you know what, he chose it before. And so, like, that's just dumb. That'd be dumb. No disrespect.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's just dumb. It'd be like, that'd be crazy. So, and yet, is it still a portal? Yes, it's a portal. It's not what happens to us. This Earth School is how we respond, and the subconscious reacts, and it reacts often, at least every 3 to 5 seconds. We're in a reactive state, and this group right here. There's a lot of intelligence here. There's a lot of knowledge here, and it doesn't matter how smart we are, how much we've trained. The subconscious mind will always be 7 times faster. It's always 7 times faster at the leading edge. So it begs us to go, well, wait a second. I'm never going to beat it in a race. I'm never going to beat it in a fight. I'm never going to figure it out. Not in this earth school realm. Not while we've got our body on consignment from the moment I was conceived to the moment I die. While we're here, we've got a mind. We need a mind while we're in this dimension. And the mind acts as a means of a couple of things. One, perception. It allows us to perceive. It attracts. It allows us to receive. It broadcasts energy and vibration. The subconscious mind acts as a medium between our sliver conscious reality and this realm that is called divinity, source, God, oneness, universe, quantum field, Fred, whatever you want to call it, that the reality of like, oh, we're all one. Oh, that was a good book. Like, oh, that was a good podcast. We're all one. We're all one. Just, blind faith. And the truth is, I truly believe we're all one. Quantum field. AI is showing us that we're all one. Like, what the heck is going on? It's amazing. So, but the essence is that in our world, we're getting closer. I feel like we're getting closer. See, and I think that the closer you get towards the light, the more apparent the shadow. And so we become more aware of the reactive patterns as we become more divinely attuned in human form. Like if we can really hold the light of the divine while being in human form, that's I don't think I do it. I don't do it. I'm doing my best. I'm practicing it. I'm really doing my best and to practice it. And I share it with people, the Lifeline Technique. And I really feel like it's a technology that allows us to remember what we've been programmed to forget.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amanda is now in love with you.
Yeah, and then that goes back to Lauren, because then that goes back to the truth question. Would I choose this? No, but it's still going on. What's driving that? Tell me about that information field. Tell me about that intelligence. That intelligence is attempting to. I want to say this.
Yeah,
this is cool.
yeah.
The subconscious mind, freeze, fright, flight, or fight. It activates that. It's survival only in the present moment. Only in the present moment. But once the present moment's over and the subconscious mind's driving, it shifted into its essence that most people don't talk about. The subconscious mind's the evolutionary mind. The subconscious mind empowers us to evolve. Pain does turn into meaningful experiences. It does. Whether we want to look for it in that way or not. I oftentimes, when working with people they come to me, they're like, oh, you're my last ditch. You're my last hope. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not. And you've got this going on, whether it be a terminal diagnosis, whatever. I'm like, thanks for coming. I'm grateful to be on your dream team. You got to get an oncologist here. You got to go get an endocrinologist there. You got to work with a nutritionist, get a great acupuncturist, get your dream team together, get your family and friends, know who you need to create healthy boundaries with, change your diet, start meditating, go for sensory deprivation floats, start doing different things, get your dream team together.
Yeah.
Because the essence is that it's imperative. Because there's such a level of amnesia that goes on. And even the best of us forget day after day. Shit, I forgot again. Oh my God.
Right.
Different face, different name, same situation. So,
Correct. Different skirt, different pants shows up again.
Right?
Yeah. Very much. I kind of like always said that, for me, there isn't one big awakening, and many people do say that, and many people attach to that, and they don't realize that for me, I think there's awakenings in each moment.
What was your awakening?
We are going through. I don't know if I had one.
Amanda was born awakened.
Amanda never forgot.
Amanda was born into a spiritual family, Darren.
Yeah. So I would think it's more like that it wasn't that. So I think it more comes from that, as opposed to, that it just didn't happen. It wasn't it wasn't needed to happen in like I had a big thing, or I had a big Kundalini rising or something like that. Or, I woke up one day and I just had that. I didn't have that. For me, it's a very gradual, gentle process. I was kind of like, from very, very young, when my mind could be, introduced to those kinds, to the other worlds that existed, and to the other realms that existed, and other ways of doing things and being, and, going deeper. So I'd always kind of like traveled along that journey. And then wanting to kind of facilitate that for others, knowing that there was a sovereignty that we didn't have, that for me, a huge percentage of this world doesn't have. And it's, I worked a lot with things in sense of power and also disempowerment, because I've always felt that real power is empowerment. So yeah, I never really had an awakening process. I just kind of went through stages of remembering. And so I do have those aha moments, like, wow, that makes sense. But what that usually comes through is certain things, a group of things will happen, and I get validation for it. And then I think that's now, I know this now.
Do you remember when it hit you, as far as like the validation? Like, I remember when I was a little boy, and I'm like maybe like 5 or 6, and I'm laying in bed, and I just started saying to myself, yes, no, yes. And I would think about someone, I'd say yes, and I'd feel something, I'd say no. And I would feel something different with the yes and no based upon who I was thinking about. And I didn't realize then, but I was waking up to my kinesthetic intuitive powers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, absolutely. I have moments like that all the time. And in fact, even within this group, because, my sense of like remembering and how I speak about it, and what I feel this is really all about for me and for humans in general, until I came into Us Girls, I never really spoke about it. I never really sort of followed that trail or followed the thread that I was given. I just knew it in myself. And so being here with these beautiful, beautiful sister loves that I have, that has been allowed to really open up and develop. And what I'm loving is that when I'm speaking to people now, a lot of my clients that speak to me and come through to me, they're using words of, what I am remembering. And I feel that for me, for them, is so much more empowering than, well, I'm here to learn about, trauma. I'm here to learn about abundance, or I'm here to learn about this. I just can't tie in with that. And I think it's just so much more. But yes, so I do. And in doing that, everything else starts to turn up regarding remembering everything. It just keeps turning up. Even just the other day, Yana, when you sent the message about the lady who you spoke to, that in its sense, and that has me saying, yes. Do you know what I mean? There it is. It's happening. It really is the case.
I think you're really onto something. I really don't think that we're really learning too many things new. I think we're ultimately just remembering the truth of who we are, and like a snake that emerges from within, and we shed the skin as we emerge within ourselves. We ultimately remember, and then what does not match that remembering falls away. I think that's the essence of the portal, really.
Yes. Can I ask you something though? And it might not have to do with Lifeline, but when you mentioned that you're a chiropractor and you work with the Atlas, and you are you work with the Atlas is there, isn't it? The back of the neck, just there. That's where it's working, right?
Yeah, first cervical vertebra.
Right. I'm of the understanding that within that place there holds the people's contracts, the spiritual maps of their life, the contracts, is held there. And so, and I can see your lot's faces, but did you not know this about the Atlas? So people a lot of times have an Atlas adjustment in order to release a lot of the programming.
Well, I mean, the Atlas is so, it just in proximity itself is is in relationship with the reptilian brain. You brought up the reptilian component of things earlier. It's the medulla pons, the cerebellum. That's where it's at. That reptilian brain is right there. So when you free that up, there's a whole aspect of memory of the reptilian aspect of ourselves that is absolutely freed. So for sure.
And by reptilian, he means brain type, not
maybe
alternative life form.
Maybe.
Well, there is a lot of programming.
It's open to interpretation.
Darren, remember there's the science and then there's the etheric. So it's a reptilian brain as well.
There is a lot of our programming that's held there, and it's one of the ways of freeing up the program. Just like how, say, we can do soul contract vow breaks in order to sort of alleviate the repetitiveness of being trapped in the sort of like the negative cycles of the energies of numbers. Sorry. So Darren, we're talking a bit about the numerology here that a few of us work with in terms of soul contracts. And so it's really interesting because it's just come up recently about, I've always known about this, but you can go for an atlas adjustment in order to free up a lot of the programming in a very, very quick way.
How awesome is chiropractic? It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It is.
All right, I need to come.
But I've heard that one's quite
Darren.
painful.
I do have a question. With your work, can this be used with children, and specifically children who, for example, from the moment you started speaking, all I could see in my mind was this little girl that I spent some time with yesterday. I was with her mother. Our daughters were playing. She just turned 4. And for over the last year, I didn't know this, but she has developed alopecia. And so she has this huge bald spot just in the middle of her head here. And of course, her mother is just besides herself, going to all types of doctors and all types of medicine, trying to resolve it. And all I keep thinking to myself is, on an energetic, spiritual level, how do we even approach that? Because as an adult, I would say to myself, okay, if I, for example, had alopecia, what does that symbolize? How does that show up in my life? How can I resolve it? But I can't in my right mind go, oh, this 4-year-old is feeling a sense of loss, or you know what I'm saying, to contextualize it for their little brain.
Sure.
So how do you even, is that something that you can even tap into and help?
Yes. And so the essence of it would be, the mom would be proxy as far as the person. And then I would go through it. I'd go through the process with the mother. Yet the child or the animal can be, or the business or the plant, anything can be brought into the vibrational frequency of it. And it isn't what's cool about it is we just literally follow, the system guides itself. So the first step of the lifeline is it gets us into the place where we have power. It activates present time consciousness. It's called the connection. It's like acupuncture without needles. So once we're present, we're in our power. Then the second step is 4 parts: observe, discern, intend, imagine. Observe the pain, the portal. Discern, would you choose it? Hell no. Connect your heart now. Focus where you're going versus what you want to avoid or make go away, so we can entrain it. Use your imagination to create new chemistry, enter a new world. And then we go into this place called portals. It doesn't really require anybody. It's not therapy. So it's more of like, wow. And maybe people wouldn't think it's weird. Like when I started 23 years ago, I've been in practice as a chiropractor for 32 years, going on 33 years. The essence of what I've been doing back then, it was kind of really avant-garde. It really isn't as avant-garde anymore. It just people are more open and aware and actually eager to learn about it. It's exciting that people are very open and eager to learn about this, because this is definitely an established process. And so, yeah, for kids, for animals, for plants, or whatever it might be, it can be applied. You just follow the process. And I would muscle test myself.
Thank you. It's funny because the mother's a lawyer, And so through this process, everywhere she's been going, all these doctors have been wanting to put her daughter on this lifelong medicine. And so she's like, I refuse to do that. And so through all her research, she's like, I feel like I need to go be a doctor now. And I may actually go to med school and get all the information and go into natural medicine, because she goes, the pills can't be the answer. There have to be other solutions. This can't just be the only thing. And she is like driven like I've never seen anybody before.
What I would love is to work with the mom.
Yeah.
Like genuinely work with the mom and work to, because this is triggering, the mama bear can't help it. I mean, it's triggering so much in her. How could it not? Yet to really, because she's attached to it right now, and to process that with intention, to raise that vibration, and along the way, to tap on in to her child as well. But I would love to work with the mom. That would be fun.
I'm definitely passing along information.
So Darren, can I ask you, so when you work with people, and also Rachel, like when you work with people, if this ever happens for you, do you ever see the story intuitively, pick up the story behind it, or are you not, or do you not go into that part? Do you intuitively pick up the story, just like how when you did the work last night with your partner, you knew that it was a past life and you got the dates?
That was not intuitive. That was the Lifeline Technique.
Oh.
The Lifeline Technique can bring us into past lives. It can bring us into generational patterns that have been passed on from lineage, or it can be early imprint. A person sounds very, very, very intuitive, and every time when we run a Lifeline, you sound like you're absolutely psychic and you're a medium. But the reality is that every time you bridge the gap between the conscious and subconscious, you elevate your superconscious. And your superconscious is the divine mind in human form. So the more you do that, the more clairvoyant, audient, sentient, intuitive you become. It just naturally happens. So, right. but it's both, Amanda, really, because absolutely. Do I bring my intuitive ability into every session? 100%. Yeah. At the same time, do I follow the process? Yes. So there's a marriage between the two. That's what makes a practitioner a whole other level of effectiveness and meeting people where they're at.
I love
Can I jump in?
I just want to add, just two secs.
Sure.
You do muscle testing the whole way through the process, Amanda. So yes, of course I have some intuition, but sometimes my intuition isn't what the muscle testing is coming up with, and I go with the muscle testing.
Let's pause there though. Wait. Let's talk about that. What does that even mean? Because people might be listening like, all right, we do muscle testing. Why is that? Muscle testing allows us to work directly with the nervous system.
Yeah.
And as we talked about with my cousin Rob, the nervous system controls everything. So if we can actually make a change on a neurological level, we're changing how the brain communicates with the rest of the body and how the rest of the body communicates with the brain. And when we can change that, and we do, because it either gives way or it doesn't. If it gives way, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Here's the secret sauce. Infinite love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude. Recheck it. It's strong. It's a feedback. It's a neural feedback the entire time. It's a limbic, spiritual, neuropsychosomatic feedback transformational system that allows us to, right? I just made that up. So, but that's actually what it is. So that's important. So keep going, Rachel, because the muscle testing that we do in the Lifeline is key. It's paramount so that you know that a real change is happening. Like, I don't want to talk about things, and I like talking, but I'm not looking to talk about this is what's going on, this is what's going on. Like, I really want to know, are you really being triggered? Does this really trigger you? If it does, great. If it doesn't, then I don't want to waste any time on that. I only want to work on a subconscious level where the reactive patterns in Groundhog Day, and we evolve that, into a whole other level of expression.
Okay, thank you.
All I was going to add is one of the reasons why I was attracted to Lifeline and was confident with working as a practitioner, so to speak, thanks to my 7s in physical karma people, is because it can be a content-free process.
Right.
So there's no need for anybody to talk about their trauma. there's no need for anyone to describe any of the thoughts that they're experiencing. They'll be asked to experience or to connect to emotions, but they don't have to verbalize anything other than infinite love and gratitude. And I love the privacy, and I love the safety, and I love the containment. That's something that really attracted me to the Lifeline technique in the first place.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things that no one wants to talk about. And I don't care who you are. And everybody here is bold as heck. I listened to that podcast. You all are very bold. It's amazing. But there's certain things that every human being does not want to talk about. There's something in everyone that they don't want to talk about. And the beauty is that we can just go connect to that. Boom. We're already connected to it. Infinite love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude. And we can harmonize the deepest, darkest aspects of ourselves as human beings. So there's no shame. We're not shining light on shame. We're literally just embracing the portal, knowing that there's meaning and purpose and why we're triggered in the first place, even though we might not know what that is in the present moment. And no one knows what's in the subconscious mind. No one does. As much as people are very intuitive, no one knows what's in their subconscious mind until they do. Otherwise, it wouldn't be called the subconscious mind. So it's the nature of it.
Can I
go, Kylie?
Okay,
go,
awesome.
Kylie, go.
I promise
Get in.
This is my last, and it's a two-part question. I promise this is my last set of questions. So I want to take you back, Darren, to that moment. June 17th, 2002?
Yeah.
I want to ask you, talk us through, because a lot of people chase that dragon. Like, they want to have that epiphany, that life-changing moment. I want to know what led to that moment, and what also led you to share that with the world, because you could have kept that to yourself and treated people one-on-one and made buco bucks, right?
Wow.
Like medical medium, right? Like, I don't think he teaches, but you have to wait 6 months to go see him, right? What made you share that epiphany, that knowledge with everyone instead of keeping it to yourself?
Okay. So once upon a time, once I started connecting dots of all these really cool things in the world that help people heal, I shared it with different people. And one of the people I shared it with was my dear friend, one of my best friends, Dr. Tom Bain. I was on my way back from Sri Lanka studying there. And I met him and his wife, Ingrid, that I went to chiropractic school with both of them. And we met in Belgium. And I told them, I told them what I was doing, and Tom got hit. And he said, Darren, there's gotta be something that bridges together all that you're doing and all that he's doing. He's a functional medicine guru. He's like incredible, one of the best in the world. He's changed the world of the biome. He's absolutely changed the world of the biome. And so I opened up a clinic in Northbrook, and Yana knows. And so I said, hey, Tom, would you and Ingrid ever consider moving to Chicagoland area? And I just threw it out there. And he's like, we were thinking about moving. We're thinking about either Texas or Illinois, actually. I'm like, well, come to Illinois and be part of my practice. And so we did. And they moved. And then on a regular basis, twice a week, we'd go out. We'd have a great meal. We'd have drinks. We'd talk. We'd banter. And one night, June 17th, 2002, I'm at Ingrid and Tom's house with my girlfriend, who was my first wife. I don't have a second wife yet, but I'm hoping this other one will be. And so
infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude, that exactly. So we're at their house, and Ingrid goes, so Tom, Darren, where's this big idea you guys keep talking about? And Tom and I look at each other like, oh, we just haven't come up with it. She goes, you know what I got big? I got this credit card bill. Every time you guys get together, you have these fancy meals and stuff like that. That's what I got. That's big. And we're just like, oh boy, she's just totally putting us in our place. And she looks him in the eye and she goes, do you want to know the truth? And I'm like, what do you mean, Ingrid? She goes, do you want to know the truth of why you haven't come up with this big idea? And I'm like, oh shit. She's seeing into my soul right now. Right. And I'm like shaking and I'm like, yeah, I want to know the truth. And she goes, because you're just too afraid. Oh, it makes me want to cry. Ooh, you're just too afraid of how powerful it's going to be. You're just too afraid. And I'm like, oh my God. And as you can tell, I don't usually have a loss for words. And I have a loss for words. And I'm like, okay, great night. We'll see you later. And I'm in my home. I'm in the living room and I'm pacing. And Ingrid's voice is in my head. You're just too afraid. You're just too afraid. And I have a moment. And I felt it. Like literally, I'm reliving it. It went, and I went to the space between. I mean, I've done hallucinogenics before, and it was similar to that. It was like I went to a place between, and all of a sudden everything came together, and it was clear, and it was like a Tibetan sand mandala that I like knew that if anything interrupted me, it was all going to go away, and I'm like wasn't about to. And then I said, "Babe, gave me pen and paper." So then I wrote it out, and I instantly knew how to do it. And a girlfriend at the time said, "What is that?" I'm like, I don't know, but this is it. And I'm like, how are you feeling? She goes, I got neck pain. I'm like, good. I'm like, come over here. And so I instantly did it with her. I did it with myself. I'm like, oh my God, this is really incredible. I was really jazzed. I go in the next day and I go to Tom. I'm like, Tom, I'm not afraid anymore. He goes, oh, that's good. Like he didn't hear it. He didn't hear her say that. He never heard you're just too afraid. It was meant for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I came up with the big idea, buddy. He goes, teach it to me. I'm like, not yet. I'm like, I want to see if I'm just losing my rocker right now. And so I start doing sessions with people. Person with migraine headache, anxiety attack, irritable bowel, low back pain. People are just, it was like, what a day. Like, whew. I teach it to Tom, end of the day. He knows how to do it right away as well because he's been trained in the same things. And it's a simple process once you know the basics of it. And a month into it, this is where I was scared to share it because it's freaking weird. And I was like, I'm like, I didn't know how to explain it really. A month into it, I have a moment where I'm like, you know what, Tom? You've got one of those microscopes, dark field microscopy, the same kind of microscope that Masaru Emoto has that he evaluated water with. How about take someone's blood?
Yeah.
I'll run a lifeline, and then let's take their blood again. Oof.
Wow.
So this guy with hepatitis C took his blood. It was a mess. Did a lifeline, 45 minutes, took his blood. It changed. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, I can't keep this to myself. I can't do it. So now we're like Tuesday nights. We're having groups of people come into our clinic. We'll pick somebody out of the audience. We'll take their blood. I'll do a lifeline. We'll take their blood. And people's blood is changing again and again and again. We're like, holy cow. So then I'm like, I got to write about this. I'm like, I didn't know I was going to be an author. I don't know how to write a book. Meanwhile, I had so many, like thousands of pages of things that I've written about different things. And this woman's in my office. Her name is Jerry Love. And I'm telling Jerry this, and Jerry was like, well, I can help you write it. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I help people put their thoughts together and write books. And so she helped me. It took 1.5 years. She helped me put together my first book, The Power of Infinite Love and Gratitude. And fortunately, that book was, it was denied by Hay House. It was denied by everyone, but we sent one book to Louise Hay. She not only got it, but she read it, and then she reached out to me. And my office staff's like, oh, Louise Hay called. I'm like, stop it. I'm like, well, you're stupid. She didn't call. and so I call her back and she wasn't there. And I'm like, hi, Miss Hay. This is Dr. Darren Wiseman. Call me. And I'm like, you interrupt me. So she calls me back. Hi, darling. I read your book, The Power of Infinite Love and Gratitude. And on page blah, 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 you talk about a woman who's got low blood pressure. She's on a train in Chicago and she does this Lifeline technique and her blood pressure regulates and she's able to move through it. Nowhere in the book do you write how to do the Lifeline technique. I said, Louise, most people don't know that the power of infinite love and gratitude is a universal healing frequency. And she goes, well, I do. And I was going to go to your training, but I'm going to be in Austin at the time. I'm like, you were going to come to my training? I'm like, how about this? I'll be on the next plane to San Diego. I knew she lived in San Diego. I'll be on the next plane to San Diego. You invite your besties and I'll give you a private training. She goes, you do that? I'm like, of course I would. So she picks me up at the airport like this. Funnest and most amazing woman. She's like, she would fit in perfectly with the five of you. She would be the number 6 with you 5. Like, but that's when it gave me a platform. That's why I met Rachel, because as a result of that, my book went international, and then and here we are. As a result, I've been blessed to be able to share this around the world because Louise gave me a chance.
Yo, gee.
Okay,
amazing.
listen.
It's incredible.
Listen, hold on.
Oh,
I don't want to do this, but
Don't you
we're gonna
dare.
have. I have to. We're gonna have to put a pin on this, and Darren, you're gonna have to come back because
God.
There's so much
There's a
to
lot
talk
to
about.
talk
there's
about.
so
I know.
much, and it's gonna be never ending. And I know you've got some amazing ribs that will be waiting for you soon. Okay, and then
29 minutes.
also Kylie, the reason he also couldn't help but share his information is because while I haven't seen your chart, Darren, I know you got a fat 3 frequency somewhere, because it's the gift of, like, they just talk. They're the chatterboxes, but everything that they know, they need to share it, and they want to see the impact of their sharing. They want to see the result of, I'm going to teach you this infinite love and gratitude, and I want to see how it transforms the world. Like, for the passion you have behind it, it's not like you're like, oh, I just really love this thing. No, it's this innate energy within you where it's like that drive is there. And so, of course, had I known that there was a big fat 3 somewhere in your chart, I would have been like, we need to manage time because we got a whole bunch of chatterboxes here, and it could take us like 5 days, which I would personally love. But you're gonna come back.
You got it. Unless you want to spend 5 days with me in Italy, then we could have a whole other deal. I'm doing a training in northern Italy. That would be the ultimate immersion.
Okay, so tell our listeners all about it,
I would
and
have
then
loved
let our
to.
listeners know exactly where they can sign up, where to reach you, all that good stuff.
Oh, that's called Heal the Healer. It's in northern Italy. We're going to be staying in an incredible castle and doing healing in the sacred temples of Damanhur and working in these sacred spas in the foothills of Mont Blanc. It's going to be a deep dive for those of us that hold space to really hone into the vibrational frequency of our highest self and the balance and the thriving of it all. You can find it on my website. You can find a lot on my website. Just look at up the events and you'll see it there. My website's thelifelineCenter.com. thelifelineCenter.com. But the center is CENTER instead of RE.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then you can find out, we've got this thing called the Healing Circle where I do a group session every week. I've been doing it for 20 years where, the essence is world peace through inner peace. And so people from all over the world participate in it. It's amazing. We give 2 weeks for free. So if you can check it out, you can get a full Lifeline session. You will love it. You will love it. You'll thank yourself that you said, yes, go there. Get your 2 free weeks. We've got a whole bunch of archived healing circles in there. If you want to binge watch these healing circles, like you binge watch Netflix, you will go through a major epic transformation. We've got a lot of different ways. People that want to do coaching. The way I work with people is I only do one-on-one coaching with people. Otherwise, I've got practitioners that work one-off with people. I don't usually do one-off sessions with people. I work in a coaching matter of people that really want to commit. But otherwise, we've got a certification program that people can get certified in Lifeline. But the funnest gig will be in September 28th to October 5th, Northern Italy, Heal the Healer. That would be a blast. I'm seeing the 5 the 5 sister loves rocking out.
It'd be pretty amazing.
I don't think the world's ready
That
for
would
that.
be amazing.
That'd be a whole different portal being opened right there.
Darren, thank you so much for joining us.
Such
Okay.
a pleasure. Thanks for having me. It really was so much fun.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been
Everybody,
absolutely wonderful.
if
Thank you.
you are
Your frequency boost.
dying to learn all the information, links are below, whether you're listening or watching this episode. If you're interested in a reading, a healing, a guided meditation session, a light body activation, infinite love and gratitude, anything at all, head on over to yoursoulwisdomshow.com. We thank you for allowing us to create this beautiful space, and we hope you have a blessed day. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and
Infinite love and
gratitude.
gratitude.